With the summer transfer window rapidly approaching as the season draws to a close, Liverpool will be preparing their to-do list for the summer. Julian has followed suit of his predecessor Michael Edwards in being a gifted transfer negotiator, demonstrated by the signing of the season in Luis Diaz for just $37.5 million up front, so it's easy to get excited for what the summer may have in store. Let's break down the potential comings and goings for each position in the squad, as the Reds may have a busy summer for the first time in a couple of years. First up, with the goalkeepers, there are currently 2 players running out of contract at the end of the season, whom it looks there'll be no extension for. Loris Karius, who has not featured since that infamous Kiev final, is certain to leave. After a couple of disappointing loan moves away, it seems there are no suitors for the German keeper, who may well retire early upon his contract expiry. The other keeper running out of contract is Adrian, a cult hero who has been inconsistent to extreme levels between the sticks for Liverpool, though instrumental in the UEFA Super Cup triumph back in 2019. It wouldn't be a surprise to see the Spaniard gain a 1-year extension, as he's clearly a valued member of the squad and seems happy enough being a third-choice squad player. Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold are the best fullback partnership in the world and arguably the best individuals in their respective positions, so there's no need for any replacement there. At left-back, Kostas Tsimikas is a more than competent backup option, though his performances this season have caught the attention of potential new suitors, with Jose Mourinho reportedly wanting the Greek international in his Roma side. Hopefully Kostas remains as a backup for Liverpool, but should he leave, the Reds would have to delve into the market for a new backup left-back. On the other side of the defence, the Reds are already eyeing up a new backup right-back in young Aberdeen star Calvin Ramsey. The 18-year-old has hugely impressed at Pittodrie this season, becoming a key starter in his first professional season. A move for the young Scot is almost certainly on the cards. The move is coupled with Nico Williams looking set to move on. Following a successful league-winning loan spell at Fulham, it's almost certain that Nico won't be happy returning to a backup role at Anfield, hence the need for a replacement in young Ramsey. At centre-back, the Reds have plenty of options, with Virgil van Dijk, Joel Matip and Ibrahima Konate all cementing their places in the starting 11. Though Joe Gomez is a clear favourite amongst the dressing room and has been a Liverpool stalwart until this season, the former England international may be tempted away by an assurance of starting football in a bid to make England's World Cup squad. Gomez continues to fall down the pecking order and has been used sparingly at right-back this season, so should the right offer come in, Liverpool may be tempted to allow Gomez the game time he deserves elsewhere. Someone else who looks set to move on following a loan spell is Nat Phillips, aka Naldini, an absolute icon who's one of the main reasons we even qualified for this year's Champions League, let alone make the final. Nat has impressed at Bournemouth in the Championship, who upon winning promotion back to the Premier League may well look to make this move permanent, in a deal which would suit all parties involved. Plus, we haven't got a bad history of selling to Bournemouth, have we? Should Gomez and Phillips move on, Liverpool will need a replacement for fourth choice, and this would likely be a promising young talent. Options could include Ajax's Jurgen Timber, or the man dubbed the new Martin Skrtel, Slovakian David Hanko of Sparta Prague. Into midfield, this is where the summer to-do list gets really exciting. Let's kick it off with the main rumour, Aurélien Tchouameni. Tchouameni has burst onto the scene this season, becoming a regular in the French national team winning the Nations League and dominating the Ligue 1 midfield scene with Monaco. Though a defensive midfielder by trade, Tchouameni can play both as a 6 and an 8, with great progression and ball-carrying abilities, combined with imposing and dynamic physicality. He would be a dream midfield signing. This would provide much-needed cover in the holding midfield role for Firmino, who clearly has run out of steam towards the end of the season following his injury. Whilst Henderson can cover the position, it's not his best place in the team. Tchouameni could also step into the number 8 role as previously mentioned, and would form a formidable 3 alongside Firmino and Thiago. The only problem is the price tag. Monaco are notoriously difficult sellers and are already demanding a high price for the highly rated youngster as Europe's elite clubs begin circling. Of course, we have to mention the dream midfield signing all Liverpool fans would want to see in Jude Bellingham. However, with Dortmund already losing Haaland to City, it's incredibly unlikely that the young English centre midfielder will move on this summer as he prepares to become the poster boy at the Signal Iduna Park. Elsewhere across the midfield, James Milner is running out of contract at the end of the season and it remains unclear whether he will extend his stay. Clearly a huge part of the dressing room as he moves into a seeming player staff role, Millie may look for game time elsewhere, but my money is on an extension for 1 year to finish his career at Anfield. One player who may see the exit door is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. It's a shame how such a promising young player has been blighted by injuries throughout his Liverpool career. With his plummet down the midfield selection order combined with his contract expiring in 2023, it would be no surprise to see Ox sold this summer. Rest assured there are plenty of backup options, with Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott hopefully resisting loan moves, combined with the inevitable summer signing of young Fulham star Fabio Carvalho. Those three are an excellent midfield option for the future, leaving no real need to sign anyone else. As for Carvalho, he's set the Championship alight this season, and though the January deadline day move fell through, he looks certain to be joining Jurgen Klopp's side. Covering a range of positions across midfield and potentially attack, he certainly is an exciting prospect. The final piece of business across the midfield for me has to be a contract extension for Naby Keita. Naby has been an integral cog in the middle of the park this season and is producing the best form of his Liverpool career so far, which more than merits him an extension beyond his expiry in 2023. Speaking of contract extensions, the most important things for Jurgen Klopp to check off the summer transfer window to-do list is the contract extensions of Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane. Klopp has been asked about Salah's contract in almost every press conference this season, and with the German himself recently signing an extension until 2026, if Mo needed any more encouragement to sign, it would be the safety that his next contract would be played out entirely under Jurgen's management. As for Sadio Mane, despite his contract expiring at the same time as Salah's, there has been no public conversation or speculation surrounding his negotiations, despite him arguably being Liverpool's best or most informed player in 2022. There have been recent transfer rumours from very respectable sources in Germany that Bayern Munich are preparing an offer for the Senegalese star, which would be terrible news for Liverpool. Sadio may want that move away to become a standout star in one of Europe's best clubs, but if Liverpool wish to build on this season's success, his extension is just as important as Salah's. Whilst Mane may be the somewhat forgotten out-of-contract man, one who has genuinely gone under the radar is Roberto Firmino. Bobby has been a Liverpool legend, being a stalwart in the Jurgen Klopp era, but with his lack of recent game time and contract expiry in 2023, he looks the most likely of the classic front three to move on. He's mastered the false nine position in Jurgen Klopp's gegenpress philosophy, a position which is almost impossible to replace, especially in the short term. Though, if Firmino were to move this summer for a fee, a suitable replacement could already lie within the squad as Sadio Mane begins to start an essential role and young Fabio Carvalho does possess the skill set to take on Firmino's role. Elsewhere in the attacking lineup, there will likely be two departures this summer in Divock Origi and Tchouameni Minamino. Club legend and icon Divock Origi is certain to leave upon his contract expiry at the end of this season, with constant substantial rumours linking him with AC Milan. Divock has produced so many heroic moments in Liverpool shirt, and he's surely got one left in him this year, but none of us would want to hold him back from chasing game time elsewhere. At the relatively young age of 26, he has plenty to bring to the table elsewhere on the continent. As for Tchouameni Minamino, he's impressed in the Cups this season, but clearly has been unable to break into a substitute role, let alone a starting place in Liverpool's lineup since his arrival. So, a move away this summer is probably the best outcome for both club and player. The departures of Origi and Minamino will require replacing, and it's likely Liverpool opt for two more young attacking talents. With the Reds hopefully moving in for Tchouameni, which looks the most likely move, it wouldn't leave a huge budget to bolster attacking options, meaning moves for top young talents such as Leipzig's Christopher Nkunku or Ajax's Brazilian winger Antony, who have been linked to Liverpool moves, may be off the cards. Karim Adeyemi was another who was reported to be one of Liverpool's top targets, but he has now replaced Erling Haaland at Borussia Dortmund. Options such as Cody Gakpo of PSV, Gonzalo Ramos of Benfica and Jeremy Doku of Rennes may be more affordable and realistic options for a hypothetical backup attacker at Anfield, but Klopp will certainly be moving for attackers this summer window. So a quick recap. Liverpool this summer will probably need to recruit a third choice keeper, a new backup right back, Aurelien Tchouameni and two backup attackers. But we can all agree the most important business of this summer is definitely the contract extensions of Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane. What do you think Liverpool should do this summer? Are there any particular players you'd like to see them sign or sell? Let us know your summer transfer to-do lists in the comments below.